Hey everybody, today's topic is how to give a good presentation and win. These principles and strategies apply to any type of business. This is from our recent sales meeting this past week. I've reorganized it a bit so it flows a little bit better for this video. But first, I asked everyone in the group to pick one thing that they thought was the most important part of the presentation. We had many good answers, but the one I was looking for was motivation. If the client's motivation is good, then the presentation becomes much easier. And I'll share with you some questions we ask clients to make sure that we're going on a gettable listing in just a few minutes. So, how do you determine the motivation? We ask questions. I like to ask them specifically, what are you going to do when the home sells? What are your plans? And get them talking around that. When we know their motivation, their big why, their dreams, or their plans, everything falls into place much easier. A big part of our business is listings, meaning we're going up against another realtor. I don't like to lose, and we want to win. So here are a few tips from our agents this past week and myself that I think will help you. Here's what we call the bona fide appointment questions. You ask these questions on the phone before you go on the appointment. Are you the only principal owner, or is there someone else? Get enough information to do a mini market analysis along with any improvements that they might have made over the years. Plan on 1 hour, but depends on the number of their questions. And ask, what are homes like yours selling for in the neighborhood? We have to know what they're thinking. So what's next? You've got the lead, you've called, you've asked the bona fide questions on the phone. Now it's time for the appointment. I highly recommend that you show up early and that you drive around the neighborhood and even look at some of the competition. We only have 1 hour or so to sell ourselves to the clients. So what do? We smile, we pay them a compliment, we develop rapport as quickly as possible. How do we do that? How do you do that? There are a lot of ways. Here's one, an acronym called FORD, F-O-R-D. F stands for family, O for occupation, talk about their recreation, and talk about their dreams. Remember, we have to sell ourselves first, and people want to do business with people they like, trust, and know. When it is the right time to start talking about real estate, here's the next most important piece. Ask them, what are the 3 things, Mr. Seller or Buyer, Mr. Client, that are most important to you today about selling your home or about doing business? Next, use what we call the safe island. It's designed to put the seller or the buyer or the client at ease, that you're not going to hard sell these folks. Don't take me wrong, because we are going to trial close, and it sounds something like this, based on what we've talked about and discussed so far today. How do you feel? Do you feel that we can work together? A yes means we can move forward. A no means we didn't do the job right, and we have to back up and dig for more information. So the safe island is a list of questions of the process of what we're going to go through today during the appointment. Next, when is the best time to handle objections? I'm talking about pricing objections, commission questions, any objection. The group had many opinions on this, but I believe the best time to handle an objection is later. Say something like, I understand, we'll talk about that, let's talk about that in a moment. An objection is really just a question, isn't it? So while I'm doing the presentation, I'm thinking in my head, how am I going to handle this objection? And fortunately, I have a toolbox with me that has all of my objection handling techniques, so I can handle almost anything. About presentation, we've been in the real estate business for 22 years, and I believe a product that we provide our agents right now is the absolute best. It's Toolkit CMA. It's so good because it demonstrates every tool and system in our company that the seller needs to market and to sell their home correctly. Last, it has only been the last few years that I have realized that we need to work to our strengths. If listings are not your cup of tea, then work with buyers. Install and learn the things we've talked about here today, and you will win more clients, more listings, and have a lot more success. I hope this helps. Contact me if you have any questions. Next week, 10 a.m. Facebook, we will see you here. Be amazing. Thanks.